Hey folks, Steve Urban here. Help me help you. Help me help you. help me find you. Help my recruiting team here at Riderflex find you. I'm going to target most of this message at LinkedIn profiles, but some good stuff in here in general. Okay. You know, as a recruiting firm, we hunt people down for a living, right? That's what we do. Companies hire us to find people that match what they're looking for. I want you to help me find you. And so I'm going to give you an updated list of tips here. Some of you are going to think these are no-brainers, but I'll bet out of the 18 tips I have listed, there's going to be something in here you might be missing. So good for you to just take a couple of minutes here to listen in no particular order. So these are not necessarily in rank order, but I'm going to give them to you. And feel free to take this free information and these free tips, plug them into your profile, and hopefully you'll get found easier when people have opportunities to present to you from a career perspective. Number one, when you have your companies listed in the experience section, hopefully that company has a LinkedIn company page so that when you put in the company name, the logo of the company pops up right there on the left. Hopefully there's a real logo there that is clickable, which should take me, the recruiter, to the company's LinkedIn page so I can see and read about the company you worked for. If not, please make sure that you put the URL of the company somewhere in the description of that experience so that I can quickly cut and paste it or click on it to try to get to the company webpage. Often it is a pain in the ass to find or pull up the company that you worked for if it's not super clickable. Make that easy for the recruiter in any way you possibly can. Number two. Well, actually, number two was put the URL in the description of the experience for that company. I would put the URL in the experience section of that company, even if the picture for the logo is clickable, because the picture will take the recruiter to the company LinkedIn page, not the regular website of the company. Okay. Next, number three, industry, product, and type of service. I want to know what your industry experience is. I want to know what products you have experience in underneath that industry and or service you have experience in. I'm quickly, within seconds, trying to figure that out. When you look at your LinkedIn profile, when you dissect it and audit it yourself, is that evident? Is it clear? Can the recruiter see that quickly, or do they have to dig for it? Take a look at my own LinkedIn profile. Okay. You can use it as an example, and mine's not perfect, but I tried really hard to kind of show you as an example, like make sure you can see, retail. Okay. For example, and then maybe underneath that, furniture, because that's the product, right? Recruiters want to know what industries you have experience with, what products and services you have experience with underneath those industry headers, and we don't want to have to dig for it. Make sure that's clear in the description of your LinkedIn. Next, functional experience. By functional, I mean, are you a salesperson, marketing person, finance person, IT, whatever? Like functionally, you should be very clear about what you are, preferably in the header of your LinkedIn profile, but also throughout your LinkedIn profile in various ways. Make sure that it's super clear. If you're an operations expert or executive, make sure you're screaming that loud and clear several times. I want to know functionally, what is your expertise? I don't want to have to dig for that. Next, number 5, people responsibility. I would love to know what your experience is with having direct reports, people that roll up to you. Have you had 2, 3, 4, 5? Have you had 15 or 20 direct reports and then 250 what they call indirect reports, right? List that in your profile. I'm usually looking for that. Number 6, revenue responsibility. Have you been in charge of 1 million, 10 million, 1 billion? How much revenue have you had experience overseeing? And by the way, I think revenue responsibility is different than full P&L responsibility. A lot of times, for example, I'll be talking to a salesperson and they'll say, well, I was a regional vice president for a retail company, and I oversaw, 300 million in revenue. Okay, 300 million in revenue as regional vice president, but it probably wasn't full P&L responsibility, right? You weren't in charge. You weren't at the C level of the company in charge of all the spending for that level of revenue. So there's a difference between revenue responsibility levels and full P&L responsibility levels. Okay, here's a great example. Let me dive a little bit further on that one. Let's say you're a sales VP and you had 300 million worth of top line revenue responsibility. A entrepreneur who is a business owner that had full responsibility for a smaller company that did like $20 million, that is real big time overall company experience. Even though it's a lot less volume, there's so many more details that a VP may never see in a big company. So revenue versus P&L responsibility, split that out. Number 7, company size. I'm quickly trying to figure out, are you a big company, medium-sized company, small company person? Do you have experience in all 3? I'm trying to figure that out. Don't make me hunt for it. Tell me. Okay. Spell that out. Number 8, put in there whether or not you're open to relocation and or heavy travel. No reason not to list that. Heavy traveler, experienced traveler, or however you want to word it. If you can get away with it, I would put that in your profile. It helps us because we're going to want to know that right away. Can you reload? Can you reload? Can you travel? If you can tell us in your LinkedIn profile, great. Saves everybody time. Next, number 9. All recruiters want to know why you left jobs. Okay. If you have a LinkedIn profile with a bunch of jumps on it, okay, if you've had 5 different jobs in the last 5 years, you got some explaining to do, right? Even in today's world, yes, even in 2023, if you switch jobs every year, people are going to be like, what's going on here? So a lot of times there's very good reasons for that. The company was sold, the company was acquired, the company shut down. You had a spouse that got relocated, so you had to quit, whatever it is. If there's a really good, simple reason, put that right there next to the title. Usually it's company name, your title, and the dates, right? Just put in there, company dissolved or company merger or whatever, some sort of quick in parentheses explanation that will give me a clear sign like, oh, this is not just a job hopper. It was a contract, for example. If you were on a temporary contract as a 1099, put that in there so I can tell. And I don't think you're a job hopper. Next, number 10, keywords. Don't make the mistake of making your LinkedIn shallow. Your LinkedIn really should almost match your resume. I mean, it is your resume, really, to be quite honest. So don't be afraid to just make a match. Blow your LinkedIn out, put plenty of description in there, plenty of detail with lots of good keywords. The reason you want that is because that's how we find you. We have all these paid tools that we're putting in keywords that we're looking for. And then if your keywords on your profile match that, you might pop up. The more keywords you have, the more likely you're going to pop up in a search when we're trying to find somebody like you. Okay. Next, be active on social media. Be active. Whether you like it or not, whether you like doing it or not, every morning while you're having coffee, go in, like a few things, maybe comment on something, maybe drop your own post. Be seen, be active. Next, don't be politically active on LinkedIn, or especially not LinkedIn. If you're pissed off about something politically or socially that is going to trigger heavy debate or piss a large group of people off, I recommend you don't go there, especially if you're in job hunt mode. Next, number 13, your picture. Make sure your picture's up to date, it's clear, and it's somewhat professional, okay? It can even be fun to a certain degree, but it needs to be a good photo, a good up-to-date photo, okay? Not 15 years ago and 25 pounds earlier. No, a real photo. Next, a little bit human, a little bit fun. Don't be afraid to be a little bit creative with your profile. Throw in a few fun things. Look at my LinkedIn. You'll see what I mean. Don't just be a robot. Okay. Don't be too stuffy. Okay. Keep it a little bit fun when you can. Look at my profile as an example. Next, if you played college athletics, please put it in there. I don't care what any other recruiter says. If you played college athletics all the way through school, whether it's Division 1, 2, or 3, list it. Okay. I'm just telling you, for me and for many other recruiters, if we see that, it just speaks volumes of character, work ethic, ability, coachable, teamwork, people skills, time management, all the rest of it. Please put it in there. Next, I already said number 16, which is make sure your resume matches. Number 17, if you have your own personal website, like a separate website where you've put a bunch of stuff on, put that on there. Look at my LinkedIn, same thing. Look at my LinkedIn as an example. You'll see Steve's personal website. You got to do a couple of little things on LinkedIn to make that option available, which you'll be able to figure out. But if you do have a personal website, make sure you list it somewhere on your LinkedIn profile. And number 18, last but not least, and maybe one of the most important things, your contact information. Don't make me hunt you down, man. If you put your email in there, put your phone number in there. I know everybody's, theft identity. And, some people may not want their phone number in there. If you want recruiters to contact you easily, put your contact information in there. That's what I recommend. And that's it. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day.